Hey YouTube, it's been a while, but I'm back. I wanted to show up my wife's updated Madolche deck and this new playmat that my wife got me. She's the best. This is just Itachi, badass. The trees, the crows, too cool. Anyways, on to the deck. I think this deck is really fun, and I think it's also pretty competitive in this format, which I know is hard to believe with Invoked running around and True Draco and everything. But with Paleozoic and ABC and even True Draco, this deck can actually put up a good fight. And I think if you play it right and you build it right, it can take down most of the builds out there today. Now I know that's going to change up a lot when Spiral come out. I mean, Tier 0 deck is going to break the format. But until then, I think for any Madolche players that I haven't seen a lot of builds on YouTube about. So I think this is a good example. I think this is the best way to play the deck. There might be a possible variant I'm playing around with right now that has True Draco in it. Leads to a lot of really strong boards. But I have to work out the tweaks before I would make a profile for that. So for now, I just wanted to show off this variant, which has actually been doing really well. Now, I'm not going to be running Madolche or Mew, and I straight off want to say, the thing is that the format has gone in too fast. Madolche can get a card to your hand, but unfortunately, not being able to use that card, or special summon that card, or, pop it for an effect, is just that card's not doing anything in your hand. It's like opening up multiple Madolche monsters. Like, it doesn't help you. And Mew is mostly a dead draw in this current format. I mean, it does let me special summon another Madolche, but I don't need it most of the time. And if anything, I'd rather have a different card than Mew. So I'm not running those two. I know it's Blasphemy and Madolches, but they're either too slow, and I actually think the deck works better without them, for at least for now. So I'm running 3 Hoot Cake because it's Hoot Cake is the main playmaker of your Madolche monsters, gets cards out from the deck, and then to get into the Hoot Cake as quick as possible, I'm running 3 Angeli, 1 Messengelato, search out your chateau, and I only need 1 because it's searchable. 1 Pudding Sis, same rationale, it's special summonable, so I only need 1, and it is a dead draw, so I don't ever want to draw either of these two, so I'm going to keep their numbers to a minimum. And I have plays that I can make if I happen to draw into them with my hands. Then I have my Predaplant engine, which is my engine that goes hand in hand with the Madolche engine. 3 Scorpio and 2 Cobra. I like that ratio. It keeps the dead draws to a minimum. And this will search me out my Brilliant Fusion. But to make the deck even more consistent, I am running 3 Lone Fire. And I think this is the best version, because if I draw one of these special summoners and one of these special summoners, there's a really powerful opening play, and it happens so often that I think it's really good. And then I'm running my Glow Up for Naturia Beast and Trishula plays. I'm running my Fairy Tail Snow because I'm going to need some light targets for that Brilliant Fusion, and Fairy Tail Snow just wins games on her own, flipping down problem monsters, special summoning itself from deck in the middle of the battle phase. Just a really good card. Then another light target is the Trick Clown, which I am running the Clown Blade engine. Trick Clown is really good, and I wouldn't normally be running the 1000 Blades with the Trick Clown, but the fact that you can make an Invoker in this deck before you use your Brilliant Fusion consistently, I think warrants his spot. Because if I had to hard draw him, he wouldn't be worth it, but since I can special summon him almost at any time off of any of my Predaplants, I think he's a really good option. Then I'm running my 2 Garnets. I know they're not Garnets, but I'm not paying $6 for a 1900 vanilla, so those are my Garnets for now. 2 Link Slayers. This card is actually really good. So for those of you that don't know, it's basically a Photon Thrasher that can special summon itself, and then you can discard cards to blow up that many spell and trap cards on the field. So it's a Twin Twister, so it baits out their back row, and if it survives, I can either XYZ it with Pudding Cess, because it's an Earth, I can make Chocolat a la mode, or if I draw it with my Predaplant engine, I can XYZ it with Seraphonite, and then that lets me make a lot of good rank 5 plays. Then another light target for Brilliant Fusion, but if I draw a good Dragonic Diagram Destruction. And then a Kaiju to out Masterpiece and other cards. So that is the main monsters of the deck. And now to get into my spells. I'm running the Chateau because it's Chateau. I'm not running Ticket because once again I think Ticket is too slow. While Ticket is normally really good, I don't have a situation where I'm going to normal summon a Hoot Cake, activate a Ticket, and then let them run over it, and next turn get my Angeli, and next turn make my play. Like, that is just not efficient. And while I can search for ticket, normally if I'm being able to in a position where I can search for ticket, I'm either losing because I'm playing too slowly and I'd rather have a card like Link Slayer that lets me combo off, or I'm already winning and I'm searching it because I have already got the Chateau and I have nothing else to search, in which case it's just a win mark card, and in that situation I would rather draw a trap card that I can set to prevent my board from being wiped. Then Soul Charge because it can end games on its own. Dark Hole and Raigeki because they are board wipes and get rid of problem monsters. Not as good as it was last format, but still a good card nonetheless. 2 Brilliant Fusions. I think I like this ratio. 3 I think is a little bit dead drawy, but 2 I think has been working out perfect for me. And in case 1 gets ashed, you don't have half your deck go dead. You still have the other one. And since it's so searchable in this deck thanks to the Predaplants, I think 2 works out great. Cosmic Cyclone for going turn 2 against Paleozoic and True Draco. And then, of course, your Twin Twister. I like this because it can get cards out of my hand, get Glow-Up Bulbs out of my hand, other dead cards, or Fairy Tale Snow out of my hand, Thousand Blades out of my hand, and let me pop opponents' back rows in the process. I don't want to run 3 Twin Twisters because I do like my fact that the Cosmic Cyclone banishes, and I think having 3 Twin Twisters is going to have too many discard costs. So I think this ratio works out really well. And onto my traps, I run Rafflesia in the extra deck, so I like running my 1 Nightmare and my 1 Floodgate. I think that's a really good main deck option for Rafflesia. Lets her turn into a permanent Book of Moon or effect negation. 1 Imperial Order because having 1 card outs to entire decks like Pendulum Magicians is really, really good. Solemn Strike, and a second Solemn Strike. Because I noticed this amount of traps, I really like the ratio. It lets me open a trap consistently in my opening hand. And then being able to do so, or at least more often in my opening hand, lets me keep my boards alive more easily. Of course, I'm going to have the Seraphonite, the Invoker to start plays, the Levier to continue plays, the Rafflesia to protect my field, the Kestel to get rid of problem monsters, the Diamond Direwolf to get rid of problem back row. I would make this a Tornado Dragon if I had it, so that's what my suggestion is for playing. 1 Tiramisu. I don't run the second one because you actually don't make this very often. I would rather have something that can activate on my opponent's turn, such as the Tornado Dragon or the Trapstrix Rafflesia. And I do want a Kestel instead of a second Tiramisu because I can make Kestel with Trick Clown while I can't with Tiramisu. Chocolat, the MVP of the extra deck. She's your playmaker. 1 Friezadon. All he is a rank 5 water monster. You can make him off any of your rank 5 combos that I talked about earlier, and then immediately use him to special summon Crystal Zero Lancer, which is a really powerful card. Crystal Zero Lancer is basically a walking skill drain that is immune to destruction, because when she's going to be destroyed, you can just detach a material. And then she also gains 500 attack, making her start off at 3,700. Then as for your Link monsters, you're going to do your Mrs. Radiant, your Proxy Dragon for protection. Sorry about that blur. Your Decode Talker, your Naturia Beast, because once again, 1 card out to Pendulum Magicians and to decks that run 20 spell cards, such as Invoked and True Draco, is really, really good. And then your Trishula. Trishula is probably the most flexible of the cards if you have a different card you want to run instead. I'm definitely putting Babushka in here as soon as it comes out. Probably going to take out either the Kestel or the Trishula at the moment. But I just like having Trishula as an option. I haven't made it yet, but I think it's really good. Now let's go straight into the play. This play is a little bit long, but really, really powerful. So basically, if I draw any of these and any of these, I have a really strong opening play that's either going to leave me with a rank 5, a Decode Talker, and a rank 4, or a Naturia Beast. So either way, I think I'm going to have a pretty strong board that is immune to a lot of stuff. But let's go with Lone Fire Blossom and Angeli. And then let's assume worst case scenario and you dead draw a Vanilla. So, let's go, this will be your hand, and then you're going to go Lone Fire Blossom, activate Lone Fire Blossom effect, go into another Lone Fire Blossom, use that effect again, go into another Lone Fire Blossom, use that effect again. Now you want to do this because you want to decrease the amount of chances of drawing a second Lone Fire Blossom, and that way you don't have any dead cards left in deck, as well as increase the amount of your graveyard. That way you can use Fairy Tale Snow more consistently. Then you're going to do Scorpio. Scorpio is going to discard a monster. This could be any monster, it doesn't matter what it is. And then obviously if that was like a Fairy Tale Snow or a Glow Up Bulb, you'd be in great shape. But it doesn't have to be. It can be something as bad as a vanilla. Then you're going to get your Cobra out. Cobra's going to search your Brilliant Fusion. Let's add that to hand. Then you're going to XYZ summon. Let's get out your Invoker. Your Invoker is going to get out your Thousand Blades. And if you happen to draw Thousand Blades, you're going to want to use Invoker to get out Missing Gelato. Both plays are going to work, but in this case, let's just say you didn't draw your Thousand Blades. So now you have 2 Earth monsters on the field. You can link these up and go straight into your Mrs. Radiant. And now you have your extra monster zones that you can use. You're going to use your Brilliant Fusion. Special summon your Seraphinite. And then you're going to send Trick Clown and your Vanilla to the grave. Now since Trick Clown was sent to the grave, Trick Clown will special summon itself. And you're going to take 1,000 damage because Trick Clown special summon itself. And then you're going to get a 1,000 Blades back from the grave. Now, you could easily end this with the Decode Talker by using those 2 and a rank 4. And then Decode Talker can pop that rank 4 and you can get back another rank 4 for your next turn. If you didn't draw any of your Madolche cards. And if you drew Link Slayer, you could obviously go into a rank 5 there. But you did draw your Madolche, so we're going to use Angeli. Tribute Angeli for its effect. And get Hookcake out. And then if you drew Hookcake instead, you would just normal summon Hookcake. And then special summon Angeli, and then use Angeli to go into your monster. But Hookcake is going to banish Lone Fire Blossom. And it's key that you pick Lone Fire Blossom for this. And then Hookcake's going to special summon Puddingsis. Puddingsis will XYZ into Chocolat a la mode. Or you could go into, once again, a rank 5 and a rank 4. Or a rank 5, a Decode Talker, and a rank 4. Or a rank 5, a Proxy Dragon, and a Trick Clown to pop with your Proxy Dragon. So that's what I love about this deck, is the versatility. You can always go into whatever card you need to solve your opponent's problems. But I'm going to go into Chocolat a la mode. When she's I can use her effect, send a Madolche in the grave back to my deck, and when a Madolche in the grave is sent to the deck, she can detach a card. The second effect is not once per turn, which is really nice, to special summon a Madolche straight from deck. So I'm going to use her effect, detach, special summon Message Gelato. Message Gelato is going to search me Chateau, and then I'm going to keep going. Now, I'm going to want to send Chateau to the grave first before I activate her effect. I'm going to want to send Message Gelato to the grave first before I activate Chateau. So I'm going to send Message Gelato to grave along with Mrs. Radiant to go into my Decode Talker. And now that I have the Message Gelato in the grave, I can activate Chateau. Chateau is going to send my Message Gelato back to my deck. And the reason I want this is because, once again, when a Madolche is sent from the grave to the deck, then I can activate Chocolat's effect. And it's just really good that it's not once per turn. Then here, Chocolat is going to special summon a Hookcake. Now, I could end Chocolat, Talker, Proxy Dragon, and a rank 4. Proxy Dragon protecting the rank 4, and Decode Talker protecting the whole field by having a Chocolat that it can pop. And if they don't pop the Chocolat, it's a 3,000 beater. But instead, I'm going to XYZ into Levier. Then Levier is going to use its effect. And that is why I banished the Lone Fire. Levier is going to special summon the Lone Fire. Lone Fire is going to now tribute itself And we're going to get out our glow-up bulb. Then you have the glow-up bulb and Levier link up into a proxy dragon. So now you have a proxy dragon and you have your Deco Talker. Now you could end, once again, rank 5, Deco Talker, proxy dragon, rank 4. But what I like to do in the current meta is I will activate glow-up bulb's effect, special summon it, then synchro summon into Naturia Beast. And this is my normal opening board. You're normally going to end with your Chocolat, your Deco Talker, your Chateau, your Naturia Beast, your Proxy Dragon. This prevents destruction on the field. This Proxy Dragon will protect your Naturia Beast from being popped or from being run over. Deco Talker will prevent it from being targeted, like let's say if they have a Fairy Tale Snow, it's not going to get flipped face down, or if they're trying to banish it, it's not going to get targeted by any of the Paleozoic traps. And what I love is that Naturia Beast is finally that answer to board wipes. Now, if they do have that Raigeki, if they do have that Dark Hole or that Kaiju Interrupted Slumber, Naturia Beast will make sure you board doesn't lose to that. And the great thing is that this is a 1, 2, 3, this is a +4, so you still have 2 other cards in your hand that you can never use. It could be 2 Solemn Strikes. It could be anything, really. It doesn't even matter. Even if they're dead cards, I think this is a great board to end on. And what I love about Trick Clown is if Proxy Dragon pops Trick Clown, goes to the grave, brings itself back, so you're going to get at least 2 pops with Proxy Dragon. And if they manage to try and destroy Naturia Beast twice, you can pop Trick Clown twice. And then now you don't mind popping Proxy Dragon for a Deco Talker effect. But normally they're not going to have that many outs. Really, the only answer to this board is going to be Kaijus. But then again, what doesn't Kaijus break? Like, they can break a Masterpiece, they can break a Mechaba, they can break any board. So you just got to hope that they don't draw the Kaiju. Now, you're in round 2, you can side deck cards, Master Strict, or even if you don't want to, just side deck cards to make sure you pull this combo off fast enough that you don't need to worry about their Kaijus. But yeah, this is the Madolche deck. I think it's a really strong deck. I think really fun deck, a different take, and something that I haven't seen on YouTube lately, so I wanted to upload so everyone can, try it out before Spirals come out and have a little fun. Dust off those Madolche cards and have a good time, YouTube. Bye.